He should have died when the horn sounded. Sand trembled. Steel sang. The sun over the arena was white and cruel. Cade's chest burned under the thin human cuirass, sweat stinging his eyes. Across from him towered Threx the barbarian champion with a jaw of stone and armor like a cliff. The crowd chanted for blood, 9 worlds of faces roaring as one. Now! Threx breathed, voice a rumble inside his horned helmet. They moved as the gate chains snapped. A step, a stumble. A clumsy shoulder bump that looked like fear. In that. Heartbeat, their hands worked fast lifts, twists, a practice click. Helmets traded places. Cade's skull slid under the beast's crown. Threx dropped the human visor low, identity reversed. Cade's world went dark, then bright. The alien helm sealed with a hiss. Symbols flared across his vision, strange glyphs and pulsing rings. The weight dragged his neck. It was too heavy for a soft-boned human. The crowd didn't see the swap. They saw a giant bow his head like a weakling and a fragile human square up like he wanted to die. Fight, snarled the warden from the royal box. Make it clean. Cade couldn't afford clean. He gripped the short gladius. His fingers shook. He thought of a cold cell, his little sister behind a grate, whispering, "Live, Cade, live and come back." He tasted iron. He set his feet. Threx charged first, swinging high to sell the lie. Cade ducked late on purpose, letting the blade kiss sparks off the horn of his stolen helm. Gasps, cheers. Cade's heart thudded. His body knew the drills, but every step was heavier, slower. The alien crown wind at his fragile spine. Then he noticed the drones. Silver eyes circled the arena. Their targeting beams tracked the helm sigils, not the bodies beneath. Mercy filters wrapped the human helmet on Threx like a soft cage, lowering his threat profile. Lethal protocols bloomed on Cade's alien crown, painting him as the monster. Good, Cade thought. Aim at me. He fainted right. A spear trap spat up from the sand, but he had watched Threx run this dance in the pits at night, teaching him to survive with his feet, not his bones. Step, roll, cut. He slashed the trap hinge and sent the spear spinning. It cracked a drone spine. Sparks rained like angry stars. The crowd leaned in. Some laughed, some stood. Is that? A voice rose. Is the human pushing him back? Threx drove Cade toward the obelisks, their blades clattering. Up close, Threx's eyes behind the human visor were calm. He whispered through clenched teeth, "Keep breathing." "Trust the old words." "What words?" Cade hissed. "You'll hear them." A hammer thudded the sand nearby. Another champion joined, scaled, violet, and hungry. This was not the promised duel. The warden was stacking the floor. Cade felt the fear bite. 2 against 1, a human in a beast crown. A joke. The violet warrior lunged. Cade parried and his wrist flared with pain. The alien helm hummed at a new pitch, like it felt his panic and fed on it. The glyphs sharpened. A line of text scrolled in a language he did not know, and yet he understood. Chosen interface detected, oracle grid. Listen, a voice slid into his ear, soft as the sand itself. Bearer of weight, speak and the floor will answer. Cade froze. The arena was a machine. The helmets were keys. He swallowed. Drop, left 10. The sand to his left turned to powder. The violet warrior lost footing, stumbled, and Cade's blade found a gap under her ribs. She collapsed, shocked. Blood soaked the white dust. The crowd broke into chaos. Bets flipped, drums pounded. Cade's breath hitched. He whispered again, "Raise, spike 3. A line of spikes shot up under another charging brute, armor pierced. The giant hung there, twitching. The drones spun in confusion, unable to reconcile the patterns. "Fragile," someone laughed nervously. "Fragile human is unstoppable," another voice finished, awe thick and wet. Cade didn't smile. He couldn't. The helm's weight was pain. But hope lit along his ribs. He looked at Threx, behind the human visor. The bigger man nodded once. Like a father seeing a child walk. In the royal box, the warden's fingers tightened on a rail. He made a cutting motion. The chains on the east gate rattled, slow, heavy, ancient. The sand shivered as something massive moved in the dark. Threx's whisper sharpened. "The Leviathan, he wants a spectacle." Cade's spine iced. The Leviathan, he'd heard the songs. The whisper lore said the first builders caught a storm and taught it teeth. No champion had ever stood still under its shadow. Old words, Threx said. Remember. I don't know them, Cade said. Yes, you do. Your blood remembers. The gate boomed open. A head like a wrecking ball slid out, scales like black glass. The Leviathan's tongue tasted the crowd, and a cheer became a prayer. The drones backed off to high orbit, leaving Cade alone with the thing and the blinking glyphs. He could run. He could hide behind Threx and let the barbarian die as planned. That was the bargain once. Trade faces. Trade fates. Cade planted his feet. He thought of his sister's small fist around a broken coin. He thought of the first night in chains, when he promised the dark he would never be the reason someone else bled. Grid, he whispered, voice ragged. Give me less weight. Gravity local, 30%, his boots went light. The Leviathan struck like falling sky, and Cade leaped higher than he ever had. He planted his blade in the beast's brow ridge, used its own momentum, and vaulted to the obelisk top. Sand exploded where he'd been. The crowd lost its mind. The beast roared. The sound shook his bones. Cracks spidered across the borrowed visor. Ancient glass flaked away. The helm tore at his scalp as if trying to keep a secret dot. It failed. The visor split. The crowd saw him at last, human face, blood in his teeth, eyes wild and bright. Fragile human. The chant ripped across the tears, part fear, part worship. Fragile human is unstoppable. The warden stood. He wasn't smiling now. He raised a hand. A long gun unfolded from the box rail, its muzzle cold and perfect, aimed at Cade's heart. Threx moved, but the drones pinned him with nets. His roar was thunder over thunder. Cade, the last word. Cade's mouth was dry. The voice in the helm grew clearer, old and sad. Say it, child, free me. Say what? Cade shouted, sand whipping his face. The Leviathan coiled for another strike. The rifle clicked. The world tightened to a point. Threx, still struggling, bellowed the answer through the human visor. Name the maker. Cade looked up at the shining rigs, the ancient stone, the machine that had eaten lives for sport. He drew breath, tasted dust and blood, and spoke the name he did not remember learning until now. The arena went quiet, like it had been waiting years to hear it. The floor fell away. Want the second part of this tale? Follow now before the sand closes again.